Hey, how you doing today? There has been a lot of creators, YouTubers, influencers, celebrities who have just suddenly, out of the blue, decided to betray their audiences. Whether it's a crypto scam.
But just in terms of the fact that there's fees that are being generated, there's an actual
Hey
source of
guys,
income.
I hate to interrupt you, Nick. Hello there. But
Yeah.
anywho, I'm gonna go to bed, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Okay.
Whether it's deciding to do a country song with a well-known racist bigot, or, anything under the sun. There's many different ways to betray your audience. You could take the Shane Dawson approach, doing blackface.
It was time to let go of him, and I just want to let you know that I, Liberty Van Fett, am choosing you to be my new object of affection.
My seventh favorite bodily fluid! Oh, nigga, bitch, monkey woman, you're the best! I'm gonna eat this whole
Putting kids in danger, or the Colleen Ballinger approach by, putting kids in danger again, that sort of thing. But who we're going to be talking about today, first and foremost, will be Tate McCrae, who is a Canadian pop singer from Alberta, Canada. Now, she has had a lot of seriously adoring fans for quite some time now. Despite some people saying that she doesn't have the best vocals, but that's something widely disputed even within her own fan base. And another thing is that many of her shows have been carried by her backup dancers, many who are gay men. And the person she decided to collaborate with, Morgan Wallen, has shown a lot of extremely problematic behaviors, including racism and all different types of bigotry, pretty much the exact opposites of what represents the community that Tate has fostered through her music. But let's actually hear it from one of her, I guess, ex-fans now, because they're not happy with what she's been up to.
After the past couple months of the gays relentlessly defending Tate McCrae against the can't sing allegations, the can't dance allegations, the never will be the next Britney Spears allegations, all of the above, she goes and repays us by not releasing the Tyler remix, but instead remixing a song with Morgan Wallen. Yeah, read the room. Read the room, girl.
So as you could probably tell, some of her fans are not too pleased with her, with what she has done in this collaboration with this Morgan Wallen chap. And as somebody who has never particularly been a fan of Tate myself, I've seen this type of behavior all over the internet, like I've mentioned already, with people like Shane Dawson and Colleen Ballinger. In her case, she didn't directly do anything herself per se, but I can understand the frustration when someone you look up to, someone you support day in and day out, and they go behind your back and they go and collaborate with an absolute bigot. It almost makes you feel like they don't see the problem that the person demonstrates, right? And that can be really, really tough to grapple with, because it's like, hey, do you not understand who you're collabing with? And as this person said here, read the room, right? Read the room, exactly. But regardless, many of her fans are genuinely upset from this collaboration, and she stated herself that she's only done this because she's always loved country music and she just wanted to do a country collab. Well, it sucks that she had to pick this guy to be her collab partner, but also apparently the song's not very good anyway.
If you're gonna make a song with Morgan Wallen, at least make it a good song, because that song with Tate McCrae is ass. One of the worst songs I've ever heard.
So yeah, she basically tarnished her reputation for a song that her fans don't even like. That's kind of what happens when you try to mix two very different audiences. Obviously the people who listen to Morgan Wallen are probably the antithesis to the people who normally listen to Tate. Mostly women and LGBTQ individuals are enjoyers of Tate's music. Whereas on the other hand, with Morgan Wallen, you've got a lot of yeehaw country boys, and let's just say the two typically don't mix that well.
Tate McCrae's decision to collab with Morgan Wallen's has got to be one of the most confusing / fascinating self-sabotages of one's own career that I've witnessed in a very long time. Because this is not so much about any type of dislike for conservatism per se, but much more about a very valid irritation over the hypocrisy of an artist that you have chosen to support. Meaning that we all very much know, including Tate herself, that she is not an artist like Ariana, Sabrina, Camilla, Billie, Taylor, that can carry a show by herself vocally. She is made up of her dancers. I'm not saying she can't sing, although that is debatable. I've always said that you don't have to be an amazing vocalist to be an amazing pop star. Look at Britney. I'm a huge fan of hers. But even with Britney, you did not go to see her just sing. Maybe the occasional ballad was a nice little treat, but the very essence of what you loved about Britney as a pop star was her dancing, her production, the show that she put on. And I guarantee you that the majority of the dancers that have made the Tate McCrae brand what it is are not conservative and straight, in the same way that the majority of her fan base that have been there to support her from day one are not conservative and straight. In the same way that Britney was for the gays, Tate McCrae has been for the gays, whether she seems to realize it or not. I'm sure that there are the occasional conservative supporters, but by and large, those are not the ones that have facilitated the amount of success that Tate McCrae has now. So either she's completely oblivious to who actually makes up her fan base, or she doesn't care.
Yeah, and that really does beg the question, does she even know? I mean, she has to. I think most big, pop stars, celebrities, whatever, are pretty aware of who's their fan base. Even JoJo Siwa, right? Despite coming out with Karma and touching herself on stage, even though 15-year-olds were still watching her. But hey, you do you, queen. This is very similar, but I don't know if this is the same level of whiplash, but people definitely don't like it. And she points out the really important bits of your audience is made up of people who Morgan Wallen's audience absolutely despises and hates. He's cultivated an audience that is quite literally against the audience that Tate McCrae already has. Now, moving on, I want to talk about Sydney Sweeney, who's probably one of the most obvious examples of a big celebrity who has recently betrayed her audience, kind of like Nicki Minaj with her whole MAGA thing that she's been doing and losing 10 million followers on Instagram and then deleting her Instagram and then saying, hey, if you guys are going to act like this, I won't make any more music for you. But that's a story for another day. At this point, Sydney here is going to be taking center stage because what she has been involved in is one head-scratching ass incident, to say the least. Now, what it kind of breaks down to is a couple of really main veins here, which are slightly related, but at the same time, they converge in their own ways. So firstly, there is the jeans ad, the abhorrent jeans ad that even Donald Trump for some reason decided to endorse, saying that she had the hottest ad of any celebrity. A little on the nose there, buddy. A little on the nose there. We know exactly why you said those words. Don't even try to hide it. There was that, which stirred up a lot of controversy, and when she was given an opportunity to dispel the controversy, to maybe even apologize or clarify her position, hey, I'm not saying that I have superior genes to you, literally, because of my blonde hair and blue eyes or anything like that, she decided not to, which we'll get to that in a moment. But the second lane is her deciding to basically feed into the male gaze, right? To betray her primarily women and gay audience from that she's cultivated from her show Euphoria, that she co-starred with Zendaya. It was also a show that she was basically naked half the time in, and through that, she has also cultivated a very lustful male audience, and she has decided to feed the men. Right? She's selling her bath water. She's doing these very sexual ads while also at the same time complaining about being sexualized. But it is what it is, I guess. This is just the life of some celebrities where you, I guess, have to pick and choose which audience you're going to cradle. I don't know, but it's what she's done here, and it has left who really was supporting her, the women that liked her, is who she has basically betrayed by choosing this route. And she has since kind of tried to backtrack a little bit to try to save her image, and it's kind of worked, kind of not. But first, let's look at that absolutely horrendous jeans ad.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring. often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Sydney Sweeney has her genes.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Okay, I know you weren't expecting the Doja Cat feature, but I mean, could she have painted it any better than that? What else could you possibly be saying with this? You know, it's sad. And also I wonder, like, who is this ad for? Because let's be real for a moment. You know, it's clearly like men don't really care so much about jeans ads. Let's be honest, men don't really care about jeans ads. They're gonna go to the fucking Walmart and buy whatever pair of jeans they see that fits them. You know, if anybody cares more specifically about what jeans they're buying, it's gonna be women. It's not gonna be men. And the presentation here is definitely male coded. Let's put it that way. But at the same time, it's like, who's going to be purchasing these products? I don't think men are buying Sydney Sweeney's jeans. You know, I don't think that's happening. For the most part, they're buying her bathwater, but I don't think they're buying her jeans. Not yet, at least. Unless she starts selling ones that she wears, and then I guess the goons will come out to play. Anyway. This ad was absolutely abhorrent, obviously, and so an interviewer, wanted to talk to her about it, kind of get an idea of what the fuck was she doing.
Hey, we're sort of talking around this American Eagle ad right now, and maybe we should just talk about it. So, were you surprised by the reaction?
I mean, the reaction definitely was a surprise, but it was, I love jeans. All I wear are jeans. I'm literally in jeans and a t-shirt like every day of my life.
Jeans are uncontroversial. Jeans are awesome.
Yeah, I like your jeans.
You look great in your jeans. I think I know how you're going to answer this, but I'm going to ask anyway. I mean, the president tweeted about the jeans ad, or Truth Socialed about the jeans ad, and that just seems to me like a very crazy moment for anyone, and I wondered what that was like.
It was surreal.
It was surreal.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be totally human. I would probably feel like thankful that somebody had my back in public, you know, and conveniently some very powerful people had my back in public. And I wondered if you felt that way.
I don't think that, it's not that feeling I didn't have that feeling, but I wasn't thinking of it like that, or like of any of it. I kind of just put my phone away. I was filming every day. I'm filming Euphoria, so I'm working like 16-hour days, and I don't really bring my phone on set, so I work and then I go home and I go to sleep. So I didn't really see a lot of it.
You've made a really good case for keeping your thoughts and your life separate from that work. But the risk is that, you know, there's a chance that somebody will get some idea about what you think about certain issues and feel like, I don't want to see Christy because of that. Like, do you worry about that?
No.
Real quick interruption before we get back to this absolute shit show of an interview. This is Christy, by the way, the movie that they're talking about. $15 million budget, $2 million box office. So maybe she should have been just a little bit worried about this thing flopping, because it did a bit of flopping. Probably one of the worst movie performances of the decade. It is definitely up there. This is abysmal. But go off, Queen, I guess.
It's closed off because of something they read online to a powerful story like Christy. Then I hope something else can open their eyes to being open to art and being open to learning. And I'm not gonna be affected by that.
Yeah. You've come here like really willing to talk about this whole discourse that doesn't have that much to do with you, and I'm grateful for that. Is there something that you want to say about the ad itself? The Sydney Sweeney has great genes. Do you have...
The ad spoke for itself.
You think the ad spoke for itself?
Yeah.
Okay. And the criticism of the content, which was basically that maybe specifically in this political climate, like, white people shouldn't joke about genetic superiority. Like, that was kind of like the criticism, broadly speaking. And since you are talking about this, I just wanted to give you an opportunity to talk about that specifically.
I think that when I have an issue that I want to speak about, people will hear.
Okay, before I talk about this, I have to point this out. This interview has 37,000 dislikes and only 7.8K likes. Oh yeah, the ad spoke for itself, all right. Anyway, obviously this response was atrocious. There's no better way to put it. This was atrocious. She said the ad spoke for itself. So she had nothing positive, nothing to say about her flexing her superior genes. Seriously, wow, that's crazy. I mean, this poor interviewer was trying so hard to just get her to say something, to show even a shred of like innocence in this, and she wouldn't do it. She wouldn't do it. She said the experience is surreal, that she has nothing she wants to talk about. The ad spoke for itself. Like, what do you mean by that? What do you mean it spoke for itself? That you really do believe that you have superior genetics to other people? Like, that's kind of fucked up. But just another reason why people feel absolutely betrayed by Sydney Sweeney right now. And obviously we've got the male gaze stuff too, with the bathwater ad. So let's go ahead and take a look at that.
Dirty little boys, are you interested in my body? Wash? Well, you can't have it. Because this isn't for boys, it's for men. And real men don't use cheap commercial body washes labeled by the FDA as a synthetic cleanser. But this is Dr. Squatch Natural Body Wash. It uses our real soap formula with ingredients from Mother Nature herself. And with long-lasting natural aromas like wood barrel bourbon, pine tar, coconut castaway, and fresh falls, you'll finally get the attention you deserve. So go to drsquatch.com today and quit being a dirty little boy.
Now, just to be clear, she doesn't say it like super explicitly, but that soap that she was selling contains just a splash of her bathwater, her real authentic bathwater. Yeah, and that shit sold out, and these goofy ass gooner men probably drank it, just like they drank, who was it? Oh right, Belle Delphine's bathwater. Yeah, that's like a thing. That is a thing in the gooner communities for some reason that I will never fathom. But sometimes you just cannot reason with the gooners. They're gonna goon, and there's nothing you can do about it. Anyway, that's really it for Sydney Sweeney, because I mean, this is what she's done. This is how she has betrayed her audience. Doesn't care about the whole eugenics thing at all. Didn't make any sort of statement condemning those actions. Just saying, oh, I just did a gene ad. You guys are all exaggerating. That she was very stuck up about it too, saying that her movies aren't going to flop or anything. And they have. Her movies have, in fact, flopped since that ad. And her pretty much betraying her entire, mostly women audience, and deciding to satiate the male gaze instead. That's really it for this video. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'll see you all next time.